Good Friday morning, friends. This is Don't Miss Heaven with Brad Hayes. And this week we have been studying the story of the rich man and Lazarus, recorded for us in Luke chapter 16, verses 19 through 31. This morning we will finish this story, and the question that I had asked at the beginning of our study on Monday was an age-old question that we all have, is where will we go when we die? And also a second question is, if we could have a conversation with a loved one who has already passed from this life, what would they tell us? What would they want us to know? And we've used the two characters in this story as our example. Lazarus died and went to paradise and is in Abraham's bosom. The rich man died and was buried, and he is now in torment in Hades. What would the rich man want us to know, and what would Lazarus want us to know? So let's pick up where we left off at verse 27. Then he, the rich man, said, I beg you, therefore, Father, he's talking to Abraham, that you would send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brothers, that he may testify to them, lest they also come to this place of torment. Abraham said to him, They have Moses and the prophets. Let them hear them. And he said, No, Father Abraham, but if one goes to them from the dead, they will repent. But he said to him, If they do not hear Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded though one rise from the dead. So the rich man knew he had 5 brothers that still were living on this side of eternity in his father's house, and he wanted them to know, you need to repent. The message the rich man would want to give his 5 brothers is the same message he would give us today. Don't miss heaven. Torment is not the place you want to be. That's the rich man's message for all of us today. Don't miss heaven. But then we look at the beggar who lived in this world, who had nothing, and the dogs would lick his sores at the gate of the rich man's house. The rich man never helped him, it appears, never did give him the crumbs from his table. And so now Lazarus has also died, and his message to his loved ones, his message to us today, would also be, don't miss heaven. I hope this week's message has been encouraging for everyone, but also this story of the rich man and Lazarus is probably one of the saddest but real story that we could read in the Bible. It's real. It was real people. And there's people just like Lazarus living today on this side of eternity that really has nothing in this world, but as long as they remain faithful, they will have everything on the other side of eternity. And there's also people in this world just like the rich man, has everything you could ever imagine and want on this side of eternity, but when you die, if you die in sin, if you die lost, anything and everything you had in this life means nothing. Our soul is what matters. Our soul is the only thing that God has given each one of us that we will have to return to Him once we die. So the question is this morning, are you ready? The message is, don't miss heaven. Thank you and have a great weekend.